When a narcissist crosses the line, they don't apologize, they perform. Last week, Meghan and Prince Harry were spotted having lunch with Serena Williams at Soho House, their old stomping ground. On the surface, it looked casual, even friendly, but timing matters. This came right after public tension and speculation that things between Harry and Meghan felt cold. Just watch a couple of these clips. Now, whether or not that lunch was intentional PR, it mirrors a pattern I've seen over and over in narcissistic dynamics. When the narcissist senses they've pushed too far, when they feel your energy pull away, they don't face it head on. They stage a soft reset. They bring in friends, familiar faces, or public optics to smooth the edges and make everything look normal again. It's not repair, it's performance. It's not connection, it's control. So today we're breaking down what happens when a narcissist messes up, but instead of owning it, they try to rebrand it. From charm offensives to friend buffers to future faking and nostalgia traps, this is how a narcissist resets the narrative without ever saying the words, "I was wrong." But before we begin, here's the intro. Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm excited to get into this video, because I think that this is a dynamic so many of us have seen before, that when a narcissist or a toxic and manipulative person, when they feel they've pushed it too far, it's not that they're apologetic, but they are doing everything they can to reel you back in. And I think using people is something that is a technique and method they use all the time. Before we get into all of that, I want to make a couple of announcements. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I want to thank all my new subscribers. Welcome. You will love this community. The support and love that I see between people and also in the live streams, it's just really heartwarming. I also want to say that I'm getting back into my other channel, Revealing the Crime. There's a link to it in the description of this video, and I just published a video on that channel about a really wild case with two charlatans as the main suspects who were eventually found guilty. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. What I want to do today is go through this article that was published in the Daily Mail. It's titled, "Meghan Markle Takes Prince Harry for Soho House Lunch Date with Serena Williams in New York After Pair Are Named Humanitarians of the Year." It was published by Sabrina Penty in the Daily Mail on October 11th. Before we go any further, I thought it's interesting that the assumption is that Meghan is the one taking Prince Harry for lunch. It's not that they went together. It's not that Harry took Meghan. It's that specifically Meghan is the one that took Harry. The article begins, "Meghan Markle and Prince Harry enjoyed lunch with tennis legend Serena Williams in New York's Soho House just a day after the couple were named Humanitarians of the Year." I had to take a deep breath because I just can't with these two. The article continues and says, "The Duchess of Sussex wore wide leg navy trousers paired with a striped blouse and a brown coat while heading to the Members Club in Manhattan's Meatpacking District on Friday." This is also the same outfit that she wore on that second day of Project Healthy Minds conference or whatever it was. So she didn't have an outfit change. The article continues, "Meghan, who was out for lunch with her husband and close friend Serena, paired her coat with brown stilettos and had her hair slicked back into a bun. The Duchess and Serena have been close pals since before Meghan met Prince Harry and often share affectionate posts for one another on social media." Do they? I don't know. The only two posts I remember are the one where Serena is playing Candyland, I believe, with Lily on Meghan's Instagram. And the other one I remember is Serena just a week or two ago posting about the As Ever wine. I don't think these two are as familiar as people say they are. I remember that there were even headlines that Serena Williams believed that Meghan is actually bad luck when she's when she's playing tennis. The article then says that the pair first met at a Super Bowl party in 2010 and became firm friends after reuniting at an event in 2014. The Duchess invited the sportswoman to her wedding, and her star-studded baby shower in 2019. Serena has also been vocal in her praise for Meghan, including comments following the Duke and Duchess's bombshell CNN interview with Oprah in 2021. The tennis player said afterwards, Meghan is a great person, and I think the epitome of strength, the epitome of confidence, the epitome of just selflessness, and the epitome of everything is just her and everything that she's gone through. That doesn't make sense. And, when I had first read this article, I thought that Serena said all these things after they had lunch in 2025, like just a couple days ago. But I'm beginning to wonder if these statements were actually made in 2021. And you can change your opinion about someone quite a bit in a couple of years. And yes, actually, I think we can confirm that because the article then says you can see from the interview that it wasn't easy, but she had so much poise and she still had so much class. How is throwing so many people under the bus class? Serena continues and says, I just think that she is the strongest person I know. I don't know anyone else that could handle anything on such a global scale, the way that she's had to handle things that are just untrue, minute after minute. Hey, Serena, have you heard of Catherine, Princess of Wales? And I'm sure so many other people that are celebrities on a global scale. That's a rhetorical question. I mean, of course, it's a rhetorical question. It's not like I'm in communication with Serena Williams. And then the article closes with Meghan has been largely associated with Soho House and is close friends with the Soho House Group's consultant, Marcus Anderson. I thought he had a higher title than that. I'm going to look into that and I'm going to put on screen what I found right here. Prince Harry and Meghan's outing with Williams came just a day after they were named Humanitarians of the Year at a glitzy New York gala on Thursday. So let's get to how this entire situation could be a parallel for something that you've experienced. The last few videos that I've made, I have made the assumption that Harry is upset with Meghan because of the action she took by driving past the bridge where Diana had that fatal car accident. I think that was a push too far. In narcissistic dynamics, there's always a moment of overreach, a boundary they shouldn't have crossed. They feel it immediately, the energy shifts, the partner, family, or public begins to pull away. But here's the key. They don't think I hurt you. They think I might lose my influence over you. It's not guilt. It's panic disguised as control. When the admiration, attention, or approval they depend on starts to fade, a narcissist's internal alarm goes off. They don't see it as wrongdoing. They see it as a loss of grip. Rather than reflecting, did I go too far? Their mind scrambles to rewrite the story so their ego stays intact. They may say things like, you're too sensitive. That's not what happened. You misunderstood me. They're not lying in the traditional sense, they're self-protecting. Admitting fault would shatter the image they've built, and that's intolerable. So instead of accountability, you get damage control, not remorse, but reputation repair. They sense they've disturbed the balance, but rather sit in shame. They shift into performance mode to restore control. This moment, when the narcissist feels the rupture but refuses to own it, is the psychological trigger for the next phase: charm, love bombing, and public optics management. When a narcissist realizes they've pushed too far, they rarely apologize because that would mean admitting fault. Instead, they pivot to charm. You might see over the top gestures, date nights, sudden praise, gifts, or in public cases, curated social appearances with friends or allies. It's their way of resetting the emotional tone without ever addressing the rupture itself. This phase is designed to make you doubt your perception. You might say to yourself, maybe things aren't that bad. Maybe I overreacted. But it's an emotional sleight of hand. It's affection used as anesthesia. When a narcissist senses distance, they don't reflect, they perform. Let's talk about how this can show up in your relationships. In romantic relationships, you might see a sudden surge of intimacy, surprise getaways, grand declarations, or you start hearing "you're my soulmate" type of language. These gestures feel intoxicating but are not repair. They're resets. The goal is to erase the tension, not to discuss it. You're soothed back into compliance before realizing the original issue never got resolved. They don't heal the wound, they paint over it in roses. In friendships, you might have a narcissistic friend who may suddenly invite you out, shower you with compliments, or include you in group plans after ignoring or criticizing you. The charm returns, but only because your withdrawal threatened their sense of importance. You might find yourself thinking, maybe they're back to normal, but it's conditional. The warmth is transactional. It's given to regain access to you. They'll use laughter and nostalgia to erase accountability. In family dynamics, it could be a narcissistic parent or sibling that bring gifts, start cooking your favorite meal, or suddenly reminisce about the good old days. It's often framed as peace, but it's peace on their terms. The subtext is, let's move on without talking about it. If you try to revisit the issue, they'll accuse you of holding grudges. Their comfort matters more than your closure. And in professional settings, it might be a narcissistic boss or colleague who may follow a confrontation with flattery or inclusion, inviting you to a meeting, giving public praise, or calling you part of the team. It's strategic, designed to reset your loyalty and perception before you question their behavior further. You feel validated for a moment, but it's a controlled narrative, not genuine amends. They offer visibility, not vulnerability. Across every context, the narcissist's soft reset has one goal: to reestablish control without acknowledging harm. True repair requires accountability. The narcissist version only requires performance. When they sense distance, they don't look inward, they start the show. Now let's talk about the friend buffer, using others to smooth the fallout. Narcissists often bring in third parties to shift the emotional energy after a rupture. It could be a friend, family member, or colleague, someone naturally warm or easygoing who helps restore that normal atmosphere. This person usually has no idea that they're being used as a prop in damage control. Their presence serves as emotional camouflage. The narcissist leverages that person's credibility and warmth to rewrite the story. Look, we're fine. We're out together. Everything's normal. It's a subtle form of image laundering, a way to showcase harmony without creating it. And all of this feeds future faking. The third party becomes a bridge to the next illusion. The narcissist uses the encounter to suggest that reconciliation or closeness is already happening. You'll hear hints of, we're moving forward or things feel good again, when in reality, nothing has been resolved. This sets the stage for future promises, vacations, projects, plans that imply the bond is stronger than ever. Those promises aren't about building the future, they're about buying time and deflecting accountability. The friend becomes the stagehand in the narcissist's performance of progress. Not only is there future faking, but there's romanticizing the past. During this phase, the narcissist often invokes nostalgia, referencing the good old times or when things were simpler. They'll reminisce selectively, pulling only the positive memories to overwrite recent tension. The goal is to blur your emotional memory, making you question whether the rupture was ever as serious as it felt. You start remembering their charm, not their cruelty, their laughter, and not their lies. They don't just rewrite the present, but they repaint the past. And there's reasons why this works so well. The human brain is wired for relief after tension. The narcissist knows this and offers a shortcut to comfort through group energy, laughter, and distraction. The friend's presence provides social proof that everything's okay, which can be disorienting to the person who was hurt. In essence, the narcissist outsources your reassurance to someone else, so they never have to take responsibility directly. When they can't fix the bond, they curate the optics and call it healing. Deep down, narcissists know when they've crossed a line, but they can't tolerate shame. So instead of sitting in discomfort, they reclaim control through action, planning, public gestures, distractions. This avoids accountability while giving them the illusion of progress. You might notice a pattern. They go from conflict to charm, chaos, and then repeat. This cycle isn't random. It's regulation through control. It's not repair, it's reassertion. And here are some ways to spot it in your own life. After an argument or boundary violation, ask, are they acknowledging what they did or trying to skip to normal? Are they introducing other people or distractions instead of having the hard conversation? Do you feel peace or pressure to move on quickly? Love bombing after a rupture isn't healing. It's a reset to the narcissist's comfort zone. Genuine repair feels calm and mutual. Manipulative repair feels rushed and performative. So, whether it's a celebrity couple smoothing out tension with public lunch or someone in your own life showing up with charm instead of accountability, remember, not every gesture of peace is peace. Sometimes it's strategy. I'm curious to know what you all think about this. Please share your thoughts in the comments.